Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Two lives in one night. I can't believe it. Hey, Lionel, how are you doing? Two lives in one night. Two lives in one night. I am back again to do a review on Family Business episode. This is season 5, episode 4. It's called Reminisce. All things in this video are alleged and they are my opinions only and are used for entertainment. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get this started. So the episode starts with Orlando is still at the dealership where they're telling him to get into the car, and he states that he don't care what they say, he's not getting in that car. If you're gonna take me out, you're gonna take me out here and now, because he's not getting in the car. So in walks Vegas, and Vegas has 2 hand grenades. He has a grenade in each hand, and he tells them to tell their men to put their weapons down. Antonio was like, no, he likes his odds with the 6 people against the 2 of them. And Vegas lets him know about the grenades that he has, and asks Tony if he wanted to call his bluff. So he realizes that Vegas isn't bluffing, and he tells them to put their weapons down and asks what is the issue, what's going on. And he explains to them that his cousin Vinny is missing and they are here to get answers. And they asked why you just didn't, set up a meeting so you could have asked this question, because we all are members of the same table. And he was like, he didn't want them to come up with a manufactured answer. So he just wanted to know where his cousin was. But Orlando tells him he doesn't know where Vinny is. He left Vinny the last time he heard they were in California, and he left California and came back to New York. So he has no idea where he is. So Tony tells them that this situation is far from over, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with the Duncans or be a part of their table until he finds out about his cousin. Now, we all know Vinny is somewhat swimming with the fish. The next scene we see is Donna and Dominique. They're out having drinks, and Dominique gets a phone call. I'm assuming the phone call is from Tony, Antonio, whatever. The phone call is from them letting them know that things didn't go according to plan when he went to see Orlando. So now they're trying to move forward with their plan with Donna and Junior. So she asks Donna if she's serious about being a part of their team, and asks if her son is on board. So in actuality, people really aren't interested in Donna for real. They're just using Donna to get to Junior, and Junior just stupid at this point. So since he hate everybody at this point, he just going along with whatever, from what I see. And they asked her if Junior is on board, and she was like, she hadn't talked to him yet, but she's positive that he will be on board, because if there's anything Junior is, he is loyal, and she feels that he is loyal to only her at this particular time. The next scene we go to is where we see Vegas asks Orlando if Benny Dash is missing. And because is he missing or what? Just Duncan and Duncan, is he missing or what? And Orlando said, "Well, big bro, you already know he's swimming with the fishes." And Orlando and Vegas were like, "Yeah, I kind of figured that." So, yeah. Next thing we get to, we see LC and Nevada are playing chess, and LC beats Nevada, which surprises the heck out of Nevada because evidently LC has never beat him before. So now he's trying to figure out what it is that he did and why he did it and how he did it. Because you have never beat me before. So what are you doing? How did you make that happen? What's going on with you? So Nevada goes to talking about he's glad that LC and Chippy are seeming like they're extremely happy, and they seem to be the only ones in the family that are seeming extremely happy because everybody else feels like they're sad. So everybody else around the Duncan household they seem like they got issues, because everybody do have issues, if we being honest. You got Paris, who feels away because of Sage and Sasha. Then everybody feels away behind Sasha. Then you got Nene that probably feels away because her husband is wherever he is, off the cuckoo nest. You got Paris. Paris got more than one issue going on because she's trying to figure out who's sending her these blue flowers. She wasn't shown on this episode though, so she probably still feeling away. So then he mentions Mariah and talks about how, she's getting in trouble in school. She tried to run away from home. And then he tells Elsie how she actually asked him if her mom had sent her daddy to swim with the fish. So Elsie was like, he need to have a talk with London so they can figure out what's going on with Mariah, because I'm still surprised that Mariah this season. Cause homegirl been talking a lot, and she just surprised me. I don't know what's going on with that, but of course we didn't see her this episode, but I'm sure we'll see again in a future episode. Next thing, we go to Junior and Donna. Not Junior and Donna. We go to see Junior. We see Sonya first, and she's sitting in the bedroom, I guess, thinking about Junior. But then the next thing, you'll see Junior trying to get ready, and he's talking about, well, my mama told me to get fly, so I'm getting fly. And while he's talking about getting fly, Sonya calls him. He answers the phone, and the dumb butt sits there and just holds the phone. And she's like, babe, Junior, I know you there. Say something. I know you hear me because I can hear you breathing. And he's just holding the phone. Finally, he asks her, well, he tells her he don't know why she keep calling him, and then he calls her Judas. And she was like, she want to talk to him. But basically, she's just trying to tell him that she's pregnant. And I don't know why she don't just go and tell him and be done with it and let the chips fall where they may. But he ends up telling her that there is nothing for them to talk about, and then he hangs up. She goes that he's starting to piss her off. She should have been pissed you off. Tell that joker, hey, home skillet, I'm pregnant, whatever. And leave it at that. Let him deal with whatever comes behind it. But I guess she want to tell him to his face because she want this to be a bonding moment and all so nice. But at this point in time, it's not happening. Just tell the dude and be through with it. Just tell him. The next scene we see is Chippy talking to Nene about getting her groove and freak on with LC. Talking about how they had sex in the car in the middle of nowhere. in the middle of nowhere and talking about they need to do it again because baby LC is tapping that thing. He tapping that thing, blowing her back out. I'm surprised they didn't get stuck in the car. But in the middle of that conversation, in walks Sonya talking about she had nothing to do with this situation. Why is she being punished? So they're asking her, what is she talking about? And she tells them that Junior is punishing her and she had nothing to do with the Chippy, LC, and Donna of it all. So she really like, why am I getting punished and hurt for something that I know nothing about? So Nene tells the Chippy that maybe you should start telling people what exactly happened because all of this is starting to come out and come into play. Let people know why and what's happening. So Chippy starts to go back in time, have this flash of memory where she's telling Sonya about her past, her star-crossed love affair with Elsie. But anyway, what happens is it goes back to where Chippy was a whore at Big Sam's back in Georgia. So she was a whole 304 out here in these streets. Chippy was a 304 for pay. She was a 304 for pay. But she said that she knew from the moment that she saw Elsie that he was special. And Chip, when she first saw him, he's making a little deal, getting some money and things. And then, when she first see him, or when they first show us that she saw him, it shows where she's flirting with him. And he asked her about a book that she's reading. And that's actually from what I read in the books. Their relationship mostly started based off of their commonality in the books that they were reading. They bonded over the books because she was reading a book. He asked her about the book. Then he would tell her about another book. Then she go read the book. And, they talk about the books that they read or whatever. But from what I can remember, it's been a while since I read the book, but read the books. So it's like, that's what they were bonding over at the time. But, it'll show where LC goes after he leaves her because he was supposed to be going to the movies or something with Donna that night. He goes to the car and Donna's sitting in the car and Donna been stuck up all her life. She was stuck up all her life because even in the car, because said she was the daughter of a doctor, and she was like, "How can you go into the Warhouse? How can you go in there?" So Donna been Donna and Donaging all her life. She's been a Donna, a Karen, whatever you want to call her, all her life. And after that, we'll see where it floats back to present day with Donna and Junior. And she's telling him that she never realized how much he looked like her father. And she was telling him how, he could wear a suit. And that's probably was part of the reason she fell in love with his father, LC, was because of, how good he looked good in a suit. And he was like, so you fell in love with Pops because of how he looked in a suit? And she was like, no, he reminded her of her father in a lot of ways because he was like a real man's man. So Junior was sitting there looking stuck on stupid. Even though your mama got you being stupid, she's still, I feel like she still got feelings or something for Elsie. She probably still feel away because of how she got dumped and stuff. But yeah. But anywho, she flashes back and she was talking about how much love she had for Elsie, and Elsie was talking about how scared he was of Donna's father because he didn't feel like he was good enough for Donna. And in that episode, it showed how Donna, was uplifting LC and telling him how great of a guy he was, how he was a college student, he had a bright future, and all of that good stuff. So she even though she was stuck up, even though she was in fact stuck up, she poured it on what we saw. She was pouring into LC. So back to present day, she tells Junior that he looks great. And then she tells him that even though you are a Duncan, you have another bloodline in you. And it's time that he showed Chippy, LC, and the rest of them that you are a boss. So, of course, Junior eats that up because now Donna's trying to hype him up to do what she wants him to do. But hey, I digress. Next scene, we go to Rio, still stuck on this carjacking that happened like first episode. So he's still stuck on that. The guy, when they went to the church, they pulled the license plate for the car that the guy was driving when they came to carjack him and his mom. So they found out that that car was actually for sale. So Rio goes to he went to where the car was, and he was like, who's the owner of this car? Because the lady was standing out there by the car, which was the mom. She was standing out there with the car or whatever. And he was like, who's the owner with this car? And she was like, I'm the owner of the car. And he was like, well, I talked to a guy when I called. And she was like, yeah, that's my son. But I am the one handling this car. Anything about this car you want to know, basically ask me. So he was asking a whole lot of questions. The guy said he was gonna give me a good deal. And she was like, he ain't here. I sent him to Georgia. And he like, why? She was like, you asking a lot of questions for somebody that's trying to buy a car. And he was like, I guess he started asking questions. And she was like, so what about the car? Homeboy said, what about it? And pulled off. Now, Duncans, I love y'all and everything, but Rio, I ain't feeling this. I understand how you feel, but I ain't feeling this because homegirl ain't did nothing to you. She ain't did nothing to you. I don't know what the little chip is on your shoulder, but you need to get it off because I was not feeling how you did. I don't even know that lady, but I ain't feeling how you did. I really did. So the next scene we go to is another rendition back in the blast in the past or whatever. It's where LC goes back to the Big Sam's, and of course Chippy and whoever that is that was looking out the window saw him coming up. So she runs downstairs to see him and talk to him about the book that he gave her, which was the Malcolm X book. So she runs downstairs and talks to him and thanks him for letting her borrow the book. And so while they were sitting there talking about the book, Donna walks up and her and Chippy get into it off the rip. And basically, Donna called Chippy a whore. She ain't no whores could read. I mean, she just went in off at the rip. So her and Chippy been knocking heads since day one. So they managed to get Donna to go back to the car. LC apologized for her, and then they said they'll meet up again and talk about some more books. So there was that. Him and Donna ended up going wherever they went. The next scene we go to, we'll see LC driving, and his brother Larry calls him. Now, if you watch Family Business last season, Larry is the one that had LC locked up in the mental asylum, and they fried his butt up in there. So Larry is apologizing for what he did to his brother. he's telling him that he's taking his meds and staying out of trouble. Then he asked how his family is doing, and he was telling him, your family is doing well. And he was saying, Nene probably hates me now, but of course she doesn't, because last episode where she was talking about how much she misses her husband, or was it the second episode? It was one of the two where she was talking about she missed her husband, so she does not hate him. And he was asking him how his family is doing, and then he was telling him how Junior was mad with the family because he had found out that Chippy wasn't his mother. So Larry was like, I thought you was going to take that to the grave. And he was like, well, Donna was the one that told him the truth. Of course, Larry starts laughing and he said, you should be glad you didn't marry him. You should be glad you didn't marry her. And then he ended up telling Elsie again how that he apologized and how much he missed him. I'm sure eventually at some point they're gonna work their way back to each other, because he was telling Elsie, I know you hate me or whatever. And Elsie was like, you my brother, I'll never hate you. I'll always love you. Of course, he still feel away by getting his butt fried up at Fresh Meadows. So, baby, baby, you're a good one, Mr. Elsie. You're a good one. Let me get me a swig of water. So the next scene is back to the blast of the past. And this is where we're showing the younger version of Elsie and Donna. And Donna was standing in front of the church because it was the wedding rehearsal day. And Elsie had missed the wedding rehearsal. So when he got there, she was like, okay, now let's get to the rehearsal dinner before people start talking about we're not going to get married, because she was talking about the dad felt like he wasn't going to show up the next day. So, and he told her the wedding was off, and she was like, I love you. Don't you love me? And Elsie said, yes, I do love you. But he's in love with Chippy. And Donna said, Donna said, that whore. She slapped the taste out of Elsie's mouth. And Elsie was like, you know what? I'll take that. And then he got up and he went to his car. And while he was going to his car, Donna said, you'll regret this, and I'll make sure of it if it's the last thing I do. So in retrospect, this is like Donna trying to fulfill what she promised all those years ago. So now she's still trying to get back at them for what happened, baby, many years ago, because they've been married a long time at this point. But after that, we'll see where Rio goes back to Nevada and asks him to find the owner of the car that was outside of the church. And he wanted to know the person that owns it, if she had any children. So Nevada looks it up, finds out that he does have a son, and she tells him his name. So she's like, how can I find them when the person is all the way in Georgia? And Nevada was like, you got the perfect person to call. If you want to find anybody in Georgia, call Curtis. Ain't Curtis the best bounty hunter in Georgia, even though he's supposed to be gone over yonder to help Paris deal with her situation? But who knows? But that's who he tells him to call. The next scene we'll see where Elsie goes to see Brandy, and she's looking at his blood work, and she tells him that his testosterone is through the roof and it's up like he was a 30-year-old. And he tells her how him and his wife are having sex all over the place, everywhere, anywhere, multiple times a day, just like rabbits. They're just doing it like rabbits. So the next scene that we end up seeing is where Junior is talking to himself, talking about the people are going to put some respect on his name. They need to put some respect on his name. And while he's talking to himself, there's a knock at the door, and it is Vegas. Of course, when he gets there, Junior is feeling away because he's tired of all these people coming over. He said he's tired of talking to y'all. He done quit the family. He don't want to be bothered with people. So Vegas said he gets that, but he's there to find out whether or not he quit. He understands he quit the family. So now he wants to know, did he quit his job? So Junior is like, what are you talking about? What job? And he's like, the job that you begged Pop for. Because you supposed to been the one watching the Italians, and you haven't done anything. So it's been like a shit show since you've been gone. So what is it gonna do? Are you still loyal to the business or not? So he was like, before I answer that question, I have a question for you. And Vega was like, okay, what is it? He asked him, well, did you know? And he was like, did I know what? About my, lineage, my paternity, my maternity, because that's technically what it is, because the paternity hasn't changed. It's the fact that Donna is his mother versus Chippy. And he's talking about, make sure you put some respect on Donna's name. Like, man, ain't about son Donna. Man, bump Donna. If it had been up to Donna, you wouldn't even be here, you fathead dude. But anyway, Vegas tells him, yeah, he knew. And he asks, well, why didn't you tell me? Vegas was like, because I didn't want to hurt you. So he was like, that's BS. And he basically, went into his other little rage. And he was like, F y'all. F the Duncans. It said, I'm going to be as loyal to y'all, to the Duncans, as they were to me. So basically, get up off of these steps, going on back on cross town. I ain't effing with y'all. It's a wrap. I don't want no parts of the Duncans. We through. That's it. And that's all. So while Vegas goes back to the car, while he's sitting in the car, he gets a call from Curtis. And he tells Curtis how Junior is hell bent on putting Donna on a pedestal and making her out to be a saint that she is not. And so Curtis was like, well, did you tell him everything that you knew? Because he told him that Junior asked him, did he know about Chippy not being his mom? So Vegas told him, I told him I knew. He said, but did you tell him everything? Did you tell him that he wouldn't be alive had it not been for Chippy? And so Vegas was like, no, he didn't tell him that. So, but at this time, Vegas was driving off. So Curtis was like, you might want to tell him all of that. Let him know everything and let the chips fall where they may. So he turns around to go back to the house to tell Junior everything else he knows. And he sees Dominique and Antonio Dash. When he pulls up, he sees Dominique and Antonio Dash going in that. Well, he sees Junior opens the door for him and lets them in the house. My thing is this. I'm trying to understand, because Junior been in this business for a long time, right? He been with the family for a long time, right? So you trying to tell me that Junior does not know who Antonio Dash is? Is that what y'all trying to tell me? Is that what I'm supposed to believe when I watch this show? That Junior does not know who these people are? He been in this gangster life for a long time. He should know these people. For real. But he invites them in the house. And of course, Vegas sees them inviting them in the house. And then Vegas calls Pop and tells Pop, we got a problem. We got a big problem. And of course, that's where the episode ends. But I'm still trying to understand this. Junior making me sick. Junior been making me sick since he found out that doggone Donna is his mama. And I just want to know what else that Donna told him. Did she tell him she was a crackhead when folks took him? Did she tell the folks that she was crackhead? Because she was crackhead while she was pregnant. And doggone Chippy helped keep the crackhead sober, get her clean while she was pregnant. Now, Chippy was wrong for getting the stuff back to her later on. But had she not got her clean from the get-go, she wouldn't be here. Heck, he wouldn't be here. But anywho, anyway, I will be here next week for the next episode to see how this thing gonna play out. Y'all don't play with me, doggone and family business, because don't y'all play with me. Because somebody needs to slap the taste out of Junior and a few other people. But we're going to see how this thing play out. I'm going to be here. I'm going to enjoy the show. And whatever I see, I'm going to come back and tell it to y'all. Y'all either going to like it or you ain't. But anywho and anyway, thank you all for coming and stopping by and listening to my little spiel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about anything. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. I will appreciate it so much. Thank you very much. And you all have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.